Hey, what's up guys? Signal What Ifs here, and yeah, this is gonna be, I guess part 2 of what if Deku had the sharingan. And before this video starts again, this is going to be another pre-recorded video, along with basically the entire series almost being pre-recorded in the span of about a week. So yeah, this might be one of the very first consistent series that I have going. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Previously on What If Deku Had the Sharingan, and previously we left off where Izuku and Katsuma made their promise that whoever gets first place on the entrance exam, if it's even one of them, the one who wins has to have the other tell the other their feelings. And now we time skip to the next day, as All Might has tried talking to Ryu to see if he could meet up and talk to his son Izuku, as Ryu, respecting All Might enough, says alright sure, and takes him over to his house. As Izuku, waking up, is just like, oof, as he then just jumps out of his bed, puts on his clothes, and is about to get started on his training, as he then sees All Might. As All Might then introduces himself as he buffs up and says, young Midoriya, I would like to speak with you about something. As Ryu, he knows about Small Might. Pretty much everybody in the top 10 heroes knows about Small Might. Like, the only people who everybody in UA knew about Small Might, and Ryu, he knows about Small Might as well. So yeah. And All Might then says, well, young Midoriya, I want to speak to you about something. As he then gestures for Ryu to leave for a sec, as Ryu understands and leaves, as he then says, young Midoriya, I wanna speak to you about becoming my successor. As Izuku's like, successor? What is he talking about? You know it's All Might, but like, yeah, but he's confused. And so All Might then explains to him what One For All is, and explains his whole injury and why he was in a Small Might form and all this. And Izuku then is just like, wait, what? Then, huh? And then he also explains that One For All can be transferred to another wielder, as Izuku then stops him right there and says, no. All Might's like, excuse me? Well, what do you mean no? He's like, well, I want to become #1 hero with my own power. I want to get into my school with my own power. I don't want to take handouts, as I am as powerful as is right now. The thing is that there's also a slight something that I've realized with my quirk. And All Might's like, what's that? He's like, well, my quirk can evolve, and it gets stronger the more I train. And yeah, as All Might hears it, she's like, But then Izuku also chimes in and says, well, I think I may know someone who might be willing to take One For All. As All Might's like, what do you mean? He's like, who do you have in mind? As he then brings up Katsuma, as he then brings up how she has basically the heart of a hero, and she is also one of his best friends, and she wouldn't be one of the perfect fits, as her quirk is explosion and would be a perfect fit for the quirk actually. As yeah, as if y'all know why I'm not giving him the One For All, then yeah, I'm gonna give y'all actually pause for a second. I'm gonna give y'all a brief explanation that's gonna be exactly 40 seconds long on why I'm not giving Izuku One For All, starting now. Okay, for starters, Izuku's Mangekyo ability will have the combination of 3 different Mangekyo abilities. That's for starters. The second is, if we've watched Naruto, we know how broken the Sharingan is. And we know for damn sure how stupid it is even in its base form. Like, bro, the ability to copy any jutsu is fucking stupid, bro. The ability to copy any movements is stupid. Like, seriously. Now that's done. 40 minutes or less, 40 seconds or less. Now let's get back into this. As All Might thinks he's over, he's like, alright, but I'm still gonna train you. As Izuku gladly accepts, and then All Might then says, bring this Katsuma Bakugo girl to the bring her to Dagobah Beach, as that's where we will be training. As Izuku's like, the beach with all the trash on it? As All Might then says, yeah. And yeah, that's what he does. He goes and picks up Katsuma and takes her over to Dagobah Beach. Katsuma questioning Izuku on the way there why they're going. Izuku not saying a word and says that you will figure it out once we're there. As when they get to the beach and she sees All Might, she's like, wait, what? You didn't tell me you were in contact with All Might? As Izuku just says, I was trying to keep it a surprise, but here you go. As she then hugs Izuku and then runs down to greet All Might. As All Might, he then starts introducing himself and explains to her what she's gonna do and how they're gonna be cleaning up this beach. As Izuku then says, alright. As he then says, do it without your quirk, your energizing part of your quirk. As Izuku's just like, alright. As, yeah. Time skip. Well, not really. Izuku then looks at the pile of trash, activates his Sharingan, and sees if there's any ways that he can move all of this trash and gain the most amount of muscle possible in the span of the time frame that he's given. And that's what he does. He analyzed it. As yes, the Sharingan is pretty damn good at analyzing shit. Like, seriously, it's one of the best. Like, we've seen it in Boruto as well. It's literally the most broken Doshinsu in the series, and one of the most threatening. Can't even lie to you. So that's besides the point. And now Izuku, using his Tomoe's Sharingan, figured out a way to analyze, but he analyzed it. As he then starts talking to Katsuma, and he then explains to her exactly what he analyzed and the best way to earn the best amount of muscle mass for his build. As if you're questioning what build Izuku's going for, he's going for a more lean build. Same with Katsuma, as her explosions are based. She may need a bit more upper body strength, but then again, she has to be more agile with her explosions either way. So yeah, I'm gonna say that now. As Izuku then just goes for a more lean build, like a ninja shinobi build, basically. So yeah. As time skip, 4 months, as they end up doing it in half the time because of Izuku's Sharingan ability, and made more muscle than Izuku Midoriya did in canon. So yeah, as All Might is shook because he thought that these kids were gonna, like, at least he thought that these kids were just gonna take a while to clear the section, but no, they cleared the whole beach in 4 months, and he is shooketh. And he then asked, how the hell did y'all do this in 4 months? And Izuku then says, oh well, I used my Sharingan to analyze the best places to start without using any of the muscle enhancements of my quirk. You never said that I couldn't analyze with my quirk. You just said I couldn't use the muscle enhancement of my quirk. And All Might, realizing that this boy basically he realizing that this kid basically, like, read between the lines and just straight up did what basically anybody would do, as he then starts thinking, wow, this kid. And then he looks at the both of them, who've both gained a considerable amount of muscle on them, but both stay rather lean, as he then thinks, so they both went for the lean build. That's actually perfect. As he then plucks out a hair as he then starts explaining one for all as he's doing this to Katsuma. As Katsuma then says, wait, but why didn't you, as he then says, wait, but if this quirk is so powerful, then why didn't you give it to Izuku? He's way more suited than than I am. As All Might then says, well, he denied it and he recommended you. As Katsuma put her eyes towards Izuku, is like, what? As Izuku then explains that he's already more powerful as is, and his quirk can still evolve, and if this quirk boosts his quirks and has somehow boosted my quirk without me trying, then I would feel like I basically got given borrowed power. Your quirk, on the other hand, wouldn't be really boosted by much, as it'll still take you a long time to train it. And he then says, then Katsuma's like, what? But why? As he then says, well, because you're my best friend. And he then starts singing some sappy shit and then explains it. I really want to fast forward this because I really want to get into UA. So yeah, as Izuku wasted no time in basic that would be fucked up. That would be extremely fucked up. But Izuku then just bows his head, gives Katsuma a hug, and says, take the quirk. And she does. And over the next 6 months, they start training, as Izuku's been learning to channel more chakra and to have basically perfect chakra control, as he's able to balance the energy inside of him. And he's also learned how to create infernos, true infernos. And he then, if you're asking why, it's because, yeah, fuck it, never mind. Izuku then started to learn how to, basically, how hand signs and hand signals that relate to whatever he's trying to make play a huge role in how he uses his fire. And yeah, and so he started doing consecutive hand seals, and then he starts doing the Phoenix Flower Jutsu, as he then blows out a massive inferno like shurikens that go towards his opponent. As Katsuma's watching this, she's like, wait, what? You never told me you could do that. As Izuku says, I just figured it out. As Izuku then starts doing hand sizes like boar, dog, cat, hawk, and then he then breathes out again. Except this time it changed form once again, and he releases a snake-like inferno, as this is just like a bunch of snakes. And then he starts thinking, maybe if I start doing different hand signs, different stuff will come out. And he starts creating fire dragons. He starts creating basically the jutsus that we see in Naruto. Well, every fire-based jutsu in Naruto, sorry. Not every jutsu, sorry. But besides that, All Might and Katsumi is impressed. Well, Katsuma, but still, Katsumi. I'm gonna just keep calling her that because fuck it. Now, Katsumi is very impressed, as Izuku has also been learning to channel more chakra into his limbs, similar to how One For All works, like full Kaling, except it does not damage his body at all. So yeah, it is kind of broken, I can't lie to you. But it does make him tired after a while. But that's besides the point. Izuku has also learned that his Sharingan has a duration for how long he can use it before running out of chakra or overusing his eyes. As when he overuses his Sharingan, his eyes become a bit blurry, but slowly steady back as he turns it off. He's also learned that his chakra levels and his Sharingan activity play a huge role together. So yeah, And Katsuma, over these past 6 months, has also learned how to use more percentages of One for All and has already gained full cowling. As, yes, Katsuma and is still a genius, like in canon. Like, because, like, yeah, Katsuki Bakugo. He may have been a dick in canon, but I can't lie. He was a fucking battle genius. Like, seriously. He was a battle genius. I gotta give props to him on that. But so yeah, I'm gonna keep that one trait. So yeah, as yeah, now their training's done. As All Might then says, you know, I could have just given you two a recommendation. As Izuku then says, nope, I want to take the entrance exam just like everybody else. And Katsuma says that exact same line as well. Almost like they said it in unison. As All Might smiles and it says, good luck on the entrance exams. Also, don't think over these 6 months they were slacking at all in the academic department. They were studying as well. So yeah. Also, this little encounter for the past 10 months got them even closer, even closer. Almost to the point where they were flirting with each other, but that's besides the point. As they head over to UA, Izuku body flickering there, and Katsuma just walking there, just like walking there, and yeah, that's besides the point. Now, when Izuku and Katsuma get to the doors of UA, they say, wow, it's much bigger in person, almost a little bit intimidating. As Izuku, not falling like in canon, because bro, I'm sorry, but if you really think that this nigga with a sharingan would fall, like seriously, like you think he would trip over his own feet, like he would trip over air, like bruh, nah, got me missed. Like, bro, I'm not doing my boy Izuku like that. Alright, now back into the story. Now, when they're inside, also, by the way, before we go in, the encounter between Uraka and Izuku never happened, so no, they do not have their relationship yet, so they do not know each other. So yeah, as Izuku and Katsuma go inside, they sit next to each other, and Izuku doesn't do his mumbling bullshit like in canon, so Ida does not call him out on it. As much as I fucking hate, as much as I want Ida to get his shit rocked or his shit shut down, I can't, because Izuku wouldn't be mumbling in this. Not as much anyway. So yeah. And Izuku, by the way, Izuku aced the exam because the photographic memory given when somebody has the sharingan, like seriously, the photographic memory given when somebody has the sharingan is honestly broken. Like there's no way you can copy jutsu without having a photographic memory. So yeah, I'm gonna just say the sharingan gives a photographic memory, because it literally does, because there's no way you can copy a jutsu without having a photographic memory. So yeah, or just a really good memory. So yeah, Izuku aced that shit. He didn't correct Nezu. He's not that level yet. He's not Nezu smart, but he is basically the smartest in the room if Nezu's not there. So yeah, Katsuma getting one or two questions wrong, but still getting an A, but still passing like third top. Izuku getting a better score than Momo did by one question. So yeah, now so yeah, now Ida, when he does his usual outburst, Mike is there as well. Everything from there on goes a bit towards canon. He says the nonsense about the 0 pointer, and now let's cut to the practical part of the exam. Now, here's the thing. The practical exam goes differently. Well, for starters, like in canon, Izuku and Katsuma are not going to Izuku and Bakugo, Midoriya and Bakugo are not going to be in the same testing area, as they are from the same school and they don't want teaming, so that's not gonna happen. Two, I'll explain from here. As Izuku and Katsuma wish each other good luck, as Izuku then proceeds to walk towards his area, and Izuku was about to start walking towards the gate until a boy with glasses and blue hair stops him. This is Ida. Ida then says, "I know you're gonna go talk to that girl. You better not distract her. Don't you think she's trying to get focused?" As Izuku then says, quite a bold statement without having any proof. And I wasn't going towards her. I was walking to the front of the line because if I end up standing next to anybody, I might mistakenly hurt them with my quirk. As Ida then realizes his stupidity, slowly backs off a bit, but then is thinking, this kid was very rude to me. I'ma show him up. As President Mike says 3, and then boom, like a snap, the doors start opening and Izuku's already blitzing off as President Mike stops the countdown and says, "That kid has the good idea. He got the idea. There is no countdowns in a real battle." As everybody starts peeling off, as Ida's trying to keep up with this kid, but Izuku is moving too fast. Izuku's blitzing everywhere, destroying robots left and right, incinerating robots, and he's doing hand signs, and then he says, "Fire style, fire dragon jutsu." A massive fire dragon just comes out of nowhere and destroys a line of 3-pointers. As Izuku then says, "Fire style, fire phoenix flower jutsu," as he then shoots a bunch of fiery shurikens. As they also cut through another line of robots, as everybody is shocked by this. Like, the teachers are shocked by his power, but All Might's just grinning. And Nezu sees this, he's like, "So that's your successor, huh?" And he's like, "No, nope, nope, not at all." As Nezu's like, "Wait, what? Then who is?" And then he points at a bottom right screen that shows Katsuma Bakugo destroying robots with 15% full cowling. So yeah, and she's just obliterating robots, not as much as Izuku, but still obliterating robots nonetheless. As Nezu's like, "Then how is this boy so powerful?" He's like, "That's all him. I'm sorry, he's a beast. Like, seriously, like, he's a beast, Nezu. He's literally a beast." As Nezu's like, "Why didn't you give it to him?" As All Might's just like, "He denied it." As Nezu's wide-eyed, he's like, "What? He denied it?" He's like, "Yes, he said he didn't want handout power and he would rather get in on his own accord, as his quirk would have probably evolved without him doing anything to earn it, so he would feel like he just got given borrowed power." As Nezu's just like, wow. His morale is quite high, might I say. As All Might is just like, "Yep, big time." But he's still not stronger than me. As Nezu's like, "All Might, he probably might surpass you." As he's like, "What? He's not nowhere near my ret." And then he looks at Izuku's score count, which is currently 216, and he's just like, "He beat my record, didn't he?" Nezu's like, yes he did." Ah, fuck. As he is slightly proud though. As also the hero Ryu is there, as he's just proud of his son. As As Nezu looks at Ryu, is like, "Why are you smiling?" As he's "That's my son." As the teachers look at him and they're just like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's Izuku Midoriya, my son." And they're just like, "Wait, but you don't have an ocular?" He's like, "It's an old genetic trait that my great grandparents had. It was just dormant in them. They could never unlock it, but apparently he did. And yeah, he also inherited a part of my quirk as well." If you're asking me, this is bullshit logic, but still. As yeah. And All Might is just like, "Yep, that's my student." And Ryu's just like, "Yep, that's my boy." As the two gentlemen are just grinning as they're just watching Izuku just shitting on everything, but also saving people in the process. As he then starts blitzing around everywhere, he's like, maybe I should stop. And so he thinks about it for a sec, and then he stops. As Izuku just starts sitting on a ledge, just chilling. Like literally, he's just sitting on a ledge, just chilling. As the teachers are wondering why he stopped, and then they look at his points, and then they're just like, "Oh, come on. You're telling me he has that many points already, and we still haven't even factored in his rescue points?" As Nezu's just like, "Yeah, this year's batch of students are quite the riots." As Katsuma, unlike Canon, how Katsuki got 100, Katsuma got 150. Yeah, I'm giving her an extra 50. Deal with it. So yeah. Also, All Might's record is 200. Just saying that now. Izuku already passed that. Now, let's come back to Izuku. Izuku, he's just sitting there, chilling, just like there. As he then starts feeling the rumble, as he then starts seeing pebbles pop up over the ground, as he instinctively activates his Sharingan and he tries looking around to find it. As he then sees the 0 pointer in the distance, as he's just like, "Are they trying to kill us?" As he just sees everybody running away from the 0 pointer, as Ochaka Uraraka, like in Canon, gets stuck, and Izuku's like, "What? There's a girl stuck there. I have to go save her." And then Izuku, wasting no time, instinctively activates his Sharingan, and he then starts running towards her. As he then tries to get fast enough to get towards her, but he's just not fast enough. As he's down the block, by the way. As he then tries to keep going faster and faster to get there, but he feels as though he just won't be enough. As it just won't be enough. As the teachers are seeing this, like, "What? He's not gonna make it." As Izuku then says, "No!" As he then activates 3 Tomoe eyes. Yes, I am not waiting that long. He activates his 3 Tomoe eyes. As everybody just sees a bright red in the boy's eyes, and they just see his eyes spinning. The pupils spinning, as they then see 3 Tomoe on each eye, and then they're just like, did this quirk just evolve? And Izuku blitzed over there faster than he's ever gone before, picks up the rubble, picks up Uraraka Bridal style, and then body flickers away. If you're asking me why he didn't body flicker there in the first place, it's because he did not have enough chakra to do that. That's why. So yeah. As Izuku, he body flickered away. And yeah, I'm gonna just say that for shits and giggles, 3 Tomoe gave him a sudden boost in chakra, even though that should have been the opposite effect. He got a sudden boost in chakra, and it allowed him to boost off even faster. As he then body flickers away, and he then puts the girl down, and he then body flickers back towards the robot. As the teachers and All Might and Ryu are just concerned, just like, wait, what is he doing? As Izuku then jumps up, starts scaling the robot, as he then starts jumping higher and higher, and when he's in front of the robot's face, charges his fist in the air, channeling all the chakra that he's ever gathered up into this point into that one arm. Every amount of chakra he has left, leaving himself with just a sliver so that he can get back down, and he punches the robot clean, as it does the exact same effect that it did in canon, except Izuku did not break a limb this time. As Izuku's falling, and everybody thinks that he's gonna go splat, but Izuku then straight up starts breathing fire with the last sliver of chakra he has left to break his fall. As they're just like, wow, this kid is powerful and can think on his feet, as All Might and Ryu are just astonished that he just took down a 0-pointer with literally something that not many people can say. Like, literally, that is something not many people can say, that they took down a 0-pointer with one punch. So yeah. Now, time skip. Izuku then passed out. He then passed out, as like once he landed, he was done. Like, he was done. He's unconscious. As Ryu then goes out and grabs his son and takes him to Recovery Girl. As everybody's like, is that the number 3 hero? As he walks up to Recovery Girl and asks what's wrong with him, as Recovery Girl says he just needs some rest. That was a reckless move, but he's okay. He just needs a lot of rest. As UA starts 2 weeks after the entrance exam, I'm pretty sure. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. As Izuku wasted no time. He was unconscious. By wasting no time, I mean like he was unconscious. Like, seriously. When Katsuma heard what happened to Izuku, she rushed over. Like, like literally, she didn't even wait for the receptionist desk, nothing. She just blasted through there. Not literally, but figuratively. As she then goes up to Izuku's room, as Ryu sees Katsuma, and then she's just like, oh, hey Katsuma, Izuku, he's gonna be unconscious for a little bit. As she asks, why, what's wrong? And Ryu just says, well, Hisashi says, well, he overused his quirk. His quirk evolved, which would have knocked him out already, but he decided to overuse the second part of his quirk as well, and use the rest of it to, well, save his fall. As, yeah, he got drained of almost all of his chakra. Like, he passed out due to chakra exhaustion. As Ryu doesn't say that, but he just says that he passed out due to energy loss from overusing all 3 sides of his quirk, actually. As Katsumi's like, wait, what, how? As he then explains that his eyes evolved and it was in a desperate time to save someone, and he ended up going a bit overboard and decided, you know what, I'm gonna go back and one-shot a 0-pointer. As she then says, wait, what? You're telling me he one-shotted he one-shotted what? As Ryu's like, yeah, he one-shotted a 0-pointer. As she's just like, how? As, yeah, Izuku was unconscious for about 2 days. As he wakes up and he feels still tired, as he then feels like a bit better, as he wakes up and he's in a hospital room, as he's just like, what happened? Have I been in a dream this whole time? As Katsuma runs in, who's been visiting for the past 2 days, and runs in and gives Izuku a hug, and was just bringing his UA letter to him, as she already got hers, but she wanted to open it with Izuku. So yeah, When Izuku woke up, well, he already woke up. Katsuma was there, and she had her letters and his, and she then proceeded to hug Izuku. Izuku hugs back, not reluctantly, but he hugs back and just says, "What happened?" As she then explains what happened, and then Izuku activates his sharingan again and looks into the black screen on his phone, and he's like, "Oh wow, so there's another one there." And she's just like, "Wow, that looks a lot cooler." And Izuku's just like, "Yeah, no, this actually looks pretty damn amazing, can't lie." But yeah. Now, Izuku then says, "Wait, what about our UA letters?" As Katsuma says, "Well, I brought both of ours. We're gonna open it at the same time." As Izuku says, "Thank you, thank you, thank you," and hugs her again. As he then opens it up, and they both see two discs, and then they put him in the front of the bed and watch as All Might says, "Ah, young Bakugo, young Midoriya, you both have exceeded my expectations, and both are entered in UA." As he then says, "Young Izuku, you got a total of 217 villain points. As you also got rescue points, as there was a secret part of the exam. And since you saved people and also got villain points, you have a total of 342 points in all. You have broken every record UA has ever had for the point values, including my own. You should take pride in the fact that you are now going in as the top student in UA, as you also got number 1 in the written portion of the exam as well." As Katsuma hears it, she's like, "Dang it! I knew when your dad said you one-shotted a 0-pointer that you were gonna get first." As Izuku then says, smirking, he's like, "Now, what was our deal?" As Katsuma turns bright red, as Izuku then says, "What was our deal?" And Katsuma shakingly says, "Tell each other how we felt." As Izuku then says, Nah. It was that the other who didn't get first would tell the other how they feel about them." As Katsuma was bright red at this, like seriously, she was peach red at this. As Izuku then says, "But I have a feeling I have a pretty good idea already." As Katsuma's like, "Wait, what?" As Izuku inches towards Katsuma's face and puts his left hand on her cheek and says, "Katsu, do you love me?" As Katsu, not being very good with her feelings, like Ken and Bakugo as well, just kisses Izuku. As Izuku, not very surprised, just kisses back passionately. As Hizashi just walks in with All Might at that exact moment, and Hizashi's just like, "Hey, that's my boy!" As he says that out loud, as Izuku's like, "Wait, what?" And Kasuma's like, "Wait, what?" As they look towards the door and sees an All Might that's just smirking, and Hizashi's just like, "Yeah, that's my boy." Izuku then says, "Well, are we a couple now, Katsumi?" As Katsumi says, yes, we are." As they kiss one last time, and yeah. The next part will start when they're in UA.